It's David Rogerson. I'm a lecturer in digital and advertising at Macleay College, and we're looking particularly at mobile communications in 2017. And part of the course we're doing is looking at web optimisation. And Dante St James has been one of our special guest lecturers. Dante, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, David.
Some of your tips, mate. What's happening in the world of optimisation for websites? But I guess, first of all, what is web optimisation?
So web optimization is basically about taking the web as we know it and making it fit onto smaller screens, or more correctly, onto a range of different screens, so that the same content you're producing for a desktop website will present just as attractively and just as usably on a tablet, on a Nokia phone, on an iPhone, on an Android device. Any of those devices, all the same thing, so that you get the same or a similar experience on all of those without having to build 5 different versions of your site.
And I guess that helps the web developer too. There's just one place to start and one place to finish.
Yeah, when we first started with web optimization, we had what you call the Mobi site. So there'd be like it could be, I'll use Coca-Cola as an example, coca-cola.com, and then it might be coca-cola.mobi. They had a special site just for mobile, or if you go back even further, there was a WAP site. And it was a very different site, just text-based for mobile phones, because we only had 2G connections. We had no broadband through our phones. Fast forward another 10, 15 years, and now your coca-cola.com site needs to be coca-cola.com no matter where you're getting it from. So you're producing one site, and it's certainly in the case of smaller and more medium-sized businesses, one site that's a responsive layout that will bring the same experience but to what fits for that particular kind of device that you're accessing it from.
And just remind us what we mean by responsive sites.
Yeah, so the site will actually, it bases on the browser you're getting that site on. So if you're getting it through your Google Chrome browser, for instance, if it detects that you're viewing that site within something that's no more than 320 pixels wide, then it gives you a version of the site that fits into 320 pixels wide. Now, 320 pixels wide is about the width of your average iPhone when it's in the portrait mode, the position we always hold it in. Flip that on its side and it's 728 pixels, and then you've got a whole different size again. So you need something which is going to adapt to however you turn that device around. And then if you go off that device onto your iPad or your Android tablet, then it will produce another variant of that layout that's responding to that size of screen. And then again, responsive then comes in where you go to a large screen or a projector screen or a large iMac size or a 32-inch monitor. So it will respond according to the window it's got to work with.
So it's kind of thinking for itself based on the way in which the web developer puts the optimization in at the front end, I guess.
Yeah, and most of the popular platforms these days, so you hear of WordPress, you hear of Joomla, Drupal, even the commercial products like Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, they all have responsive design as a default now. It's not even an option anymore, it's the default for what we do.
Right. Okay, before we let you go, some predictions for the future. Where do you see mobile communications heading beyond 2017?
Let's get ready for a world without screens, actually. That's what I'm looking really big into the next 2 years, is where we get a lot more in the Amazon Echo using the Alexa platform. We're going to look at Google Home will arrive in Australia in the next 12 months. You've got Microsoft Cortana already baked into Windows 10, which is also doing the same kind of thing. Get ready to see a lot more voice control. What that means for those who are working in the web, that we need to have web results that bring back real language results. So if you would tend to say, and please don't have an Alexa nearby as I say this, but if you had to say, Alexa, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? It'll go back and get the weather from a source that speaks in real everyday language. So Alexa will come back and say to you, oh, look, Dante, the weather looks like it's going to be a little bit foul tomorrow, actually. There's a lot of rain, a lot of wind. So it's not returning a robotic response, is returning a real language response. And that's hard to do, and you need to have code in place and a website in place that has that in there. So when you're thinking in terms of your Google website optimization, you think of how it reads in Google, and you now also got to think of how it speaks back to you through Google, through Amazon, through Microsoft.
Wow, a lot to think of. Thank you for sharing your time with us at Macleay, and all the best for 2017. And let's hope that next time we have you here, some of those predictions you had have actually come off.
I'll be banking on that.